They didn't get the touchdown, but what a great consolation prize. A new set of downs and another shot at the end zone.
And just a short gain that time as they're able to get him down. And they're not going to get to the line to run another play. So we will switch ends as the third quarter has come to a close. We'll return with more after this. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. The sneak, it's Prescott, and he is over the line for another rushing touchdown.
Is he a quarterback or is he a tailback?
The sneak successful from a yard out, and the Cowboys are able to build on to their fourth quarter lead. But that makes this a two-score ball game, and you know the way this thing has been going, Charles, 2 scores kind of feels like 3 or 4 scores.
Yeah, it's a great observation. It's been a heck of a battle, hasn't it? And points have been at a premium throughout this game. So you have to wonder, is this going to be too much for them to overcome?
So after the touchdown, Aubrey now to kick this one away. And it'll come out to the 25 as Raymond will elect not to bring it up.
You're right back in it. You're exactly right. Keeping hope alive.
That to the right sideline, and it falls incomplete.
It's been clear in this matchup which side has been the more physical one. It's been this defense. And here's another example on that last play.
An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. Back to throw, Goff. Oh, and that'll be incomplete. Well, he took a shot as he let that go. And it's going to bring up a 3rd down.
Well, after incompletions on 1st and 2nd down, it certainly seems like a reflection of what we've seen so far in this game. The defense, quicker to the punch so far. Let's see if they can get something going here on 3rd down.
Throwing on 3rd, Goff. Oh, that's into double coverage and intercepted. Picked off by Noah Igbenogany. Well, down 2 scores in the 4th quarter. It maybe wasn't quite desperation time, but it was getting close. And that interception there on the deep ball, that probably slams the door on their chances.
And maybe that was the thought process, that it wasn't quite desperation time. So now you take the shot before they're going to lay back any farther on defense. Go ahead and throw it downfield. Unfortunately, it didn't work.
They'll come out with a 3 tight end look on the first play of the drive. Following the interception, here's Prescott. Into the hands of Hendershot. And that's good for a pickup of 10 yards. And they'll be left with a 2nd and about a foot.
An ex-teammate used to tell me all the time, I hate experienced quarterbacks because no matter what, you really can't hide what you're doing. And I think that right there, he knew right away where the blitz was coming from, where his primary guy was going to be, and he ended up going to a secondary target for a nice game.
I was just going to ask you, that wasn't the primary target. He's so good at that, isn't he?
I think he knew right away that he wasn't going to get to his primary guy. I think he read that as soon as he got to the line of scrimmage, knew where the pressure was going to come from, and said, I know how to beat that, and that's what he did.
An ideal spot here to get a first down and try to run some more clock, and this is 2nd and less than a yard. Off the play fake, Prescott. Flushed out right. Now the pressure gets there, and he goes down just inside the 20 at the 19. It'll go as a loss of 3 on the sack, and it brings up 3rd down. He's certainly one of those quarterbacks that can burn you with his mobility, but that time able to hem him in and get him to the ground.
Perfect descriptor right there about how they kept him in the pocket. Excellent job of containment, but they were still able to continue to bring such strong pressure without letting him escape. But how about those guys in the secondary as well? Kept the coverage tight, plastered to the receivers, and left no real options for him to throw it downfield.
So the completion good for 6 yards, and that'll bring up 4th down.
I thought maybe when he caught it, he'd have a good chance of getting that first down, but that's a nice job of holding him up and preventing him from getting to the sticks.
Now the Cowboys going to burn the first of their timeouts. That'll leave them with 2 remaining. We'll be back after this. And with things looking pretty good on the scoreboard, they're going to keep the offense out there and go for it here on 4th. Here's Vaughn. They'll run for it. And he's got the first down as he gets it to the 8. A good chance now to put this game on ice. This is 1st and goal. On the ground with Vaughn. They'll get this halfway home from the 8 to the 4 on a gain of 4. Able to stay in bounds, so the clock keeps rolling. And this defense right now backed up in the red zone. Another touchdown, it's over. They've got to stand tall quickly.
Been in this spot before. Now there's a little bit of desperation creeping in. And all you're doing when you're talking to your defensive teammates is, first guy there, hold him up. Second, third guy in, rake it the football. Get it out. We've got to create a turnover because one more score, and this game's over.
Pollard will score. Touchdown, Cowboys.
Well, this offensive line has really stepped up to the challenge here because those Mastodons, they've been sensational clearing holes all game long. And this is great work down here near the goal line to give their back the space he needs to work his way into the end zone.
Aubrey now for the PAT. And he atones for his miss the first time around as this one is up and good to extend their lead. So after the touchdown, Aubrey now to kick this one away. And he will make it to the 20-yard line and no further. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the 4th quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. The Detroit offense ready to begin their drive. Well, it's been a struggle so far for this offense, Charles. It's not only that they haven't been able to put the points up, but really stringing yards together has been a real issue for them in this one.
I'm so glad you brought up the yardage because I was thinking to myself, we've seen a lot of NFL games and we've seen our share of lopsided contests, but in almost all of them, both offenses have put up at least 200 yards in a game, but not in this one. This has been a display of offense that, frankly, I think the two of us have watched from behind our hands, trying to spread our fingers wide enough to actually see the result.
Play action. It's Goff. Oh, he dropped it. And that's pretty indicative of the way this one's gone.
And that's another play that's painted the picture of this game overall. It's been a blowout. It's been continually fueled by big turnovers and stops for one side and an inability to advance the ball from the other.
And a loose football. It's picked up by the Cowboys. And the return will be stopped at the 34-yard line.
Well, partner, I think it's safe to say they can mark this down as extremely frustrating. Here we are in the fourth quarter, and that last play, that turnover, I think it epitomizes what happened to them all day on offense.
So symbolic, and that's why they're still being shut out. From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. Oh, Prescott here to throw. He's letting it fly for Cooks, and he knocks the ball away, and it falls incomplete.
Zone coverage there, and they were playing deep. That makes it obviously a little bit harder to run by guys. And that time, there was not much of a window to get the ball in there, and it winds up incomplete.
2nd and 10. Running right, it's Pollard. And he's going to get 7 out of this before being taken down at the 27. They'll come up now 3rd and 3. Trying to run for it with Pollard. Yeah, this is only going to be a gain of 2. He needed 3. It's 4th and 1. Prescott to throw it. And it's incomplete. They cannot convert, and they turn it over. The Cowboys here unable to convert on 4th down. And the Lions will take over. So we were looking at each other up here in the booth when they went for that saying, oh, wow, talk about trying to add insult to injury.
Some teams are just like that. You know, some philosophies, some coaches are like, look, when I got a chance to put some more points on the board, I don't care what the situation, I'm going to do it. And they're also the same coaches as a general rule that if someone does it to them, you won't hear people protest out of them. That's just who they are.
Well, these guys are not going to go out with their tails between their legs. They're going to keep taking their shots until the clock's at triple zeros. But that one, like a lot of others, winds up incomplete.
Now a play fake, and it's gone. And he drops it incomplete. And their struggles continue here. Well, it just seems like all game long there hasn't been a lot of sync quarterback to wide receiver on this side of the football.
They haven't been on the same page, quarterback and receivers. Heck, they haven't been on the same grease board when you draw plays up. They haven't been on the same surface tablet that you look at on the sidelines. Nothing's worked for them. They've got to find a way to start matching each other's movements.
They'll fake the give. Now Goff. And he's going to be intercepted for the 3rd time thus far. Picked off by Malik Hooker. How about one last great play defensively, and that should, for all intents and purposes, finish off this shutout.
That's as good a defensive performance as we've seen in a long, long time. And I know as a team they will celebrate, but I will guarantee you the defensive guys, they'll get together somewhere and have their own private celebration. A shutout, that's something to be cherished.
They'll run left with Pollard. And he's going to lose yards. They take him down at the 26. And they just took a timeout with 2 seconds to go. This one obviously decided. Not sure they needed to take it, but we'll take it with them. Throwing here, Prescott. He's got his man, it's Gallup. And he doesn't quite make it, taking it within an eyelash. Dropped at the 1. So this one will end in a victory for the Dallas Cowboys. And this was truly a total team effort, Charles, on both sides of the ball.
Well, they absolutely pitched a shutout, so it can't get much better than that, right? The defense led the way. Like what you saw, what do they call that? A total team effort? I think when it's time to hand out game balls, guys from both sides will end up getting
on EA Sports. With that, we say so long, everyone, from Ford Field.